What's going on, James here. In this video, I did a case study with one of our local marketing vault students, Sean. I want to give a little pre-context because it's important that you watch this if you're interested in the vault or you want to learn more about local marketing as a whole. It's good to watch this case study start to finish. This is a guy who came into our program about a year ago, okay? Prior to that, he was like an internet marketer, like straight up internet marketer. And the reason why I love this case study so much is he goes from burned out internet marketing to selling a company that he just didn't have passion for to going into the military, 4-year break, and then took 3 years off because he had the money from selling a company and kind of just didn't do anything. The words that came out of his mouth through this, and I apologize ahead of time if some of the video he was on his phone. So the beautiful thing about this case study is it shows the transition that no matter how much money you have, no matter where you come in life, there is something about helping business owners build their business at the same time of making money yourself. The synergy in that can't be explained until you actually experience it. And Sean's going to talk a lot about how he doesn't care about the big clients, the big fish, the $5,000 a month clients. He rather have more of the little fish where everybody's making money and he's still making very, very good money, and just changing the lives of people and still putting a lot of money in his pocket, okay? A lot of times we see in the local marketing space how to land doctors, how to land lawyers, how to land dentists, right? These big, the whale. And those come in time, okay? However, there's so many smaller local businesses that have enough money to pay you $700, $800, $1,000, $500 a month, where the margin is almost 100% because they're paying for the ads themselves. And when you get 5 clients at $1,000 a month, it's 60 grand a year for not a lot of work. And he's going to explain that in this video. Sometimes it's better to hear it from other people rather than myself all the time. So enjoy this case study. The audio is okay. It breaks in a little bit and breaks out a little bit, but the words are powerful. And this is one of the better ones I've done. And he's crushing it. And one of the biggest things that I loved about what he said was we invigorated him and restarted the passion in the local marketing space for him. The main reason he came in was for the done-for-you templates, the Google pay-per-click advertising. And if you notice in this video, he doesn't even talk about Facebook advertising a lot. We have great campaigns for that, but it's not even needed. Google pay-per-click, Google My Business, you could build multiple 6-figure business literally just in those 2 services. Enjoy it. And if interested in learning more, there's probably a link somewhere in the description. And make sure you subscribe because there's more of these coming.
All right, James, can you hear me?
Ah, there we go. Yeah, all good now. What's up, brother?
Using that computer for video calls, but Henry keeps making fun of me because my face is too close to the screen.
No, not now, though. You're good. What are you using, your phone?
Yeah. Yes, I actually bought a nice phone just so I could have a nice camera.
Oh, sweet. Nice. So you're in Texas?
No, I'm in Tampa now.
Oh, you're in Tampa. For like work? Like, what did you used to do?
To go to the military. Ended up being a 7-year break. And yeah. So were you around for build my rank?
I don't know. You broke up a little bit. What'd you say? Around for what?
Oh, build my rank.
Oh God, no.
I built an entire company based on the software Build My Rank.
Oh, really?
It was a blog network right before they got punished. And I was in San Diego. That was my first company. And literally, doctor, lawyer, it doesn't matter who you were. We went. Literally, it's like, hey, you want to rank for what? Okay, yeah, give me 2 months. And it was so powerful. But yeah, I just still marketing.
Yeah, believe it or not, the first client I ever got, that mortgage company, that's how Jason and I met. Is I hired him to build me an entire blog network to try to get him to rank, because you're competing against Chase, and you're competing against all big names. We were able to get him to like maybe spot 10 to 12, like he would bounce around, but never above that. And funny enough, that is how the vault started, was because I don't know if you've ever heard the story. Um, I was like, we got to do something. I got to get this guy leads. Like he's good. It's like 4 months that he's basically paying me 20 grand and has nothing to show for it. And that's when I was like, what can we do? And he's like, let's just run some pay-per-click advertising. And it was like, boom, like hundreds of leads a month. So we would take out of the 5 grand, we would take 1,000, and we were getting leads for like $12. This was back in the day for mortgage. So like nobody was really doing it. Except like big companies were. And that's how the whole leads now versus leads later thing came about. And that's kind of just where the whole thing was built right then and there. The PBNs weren't working as well as they used to, and they were getting, footprints and all that stuff. And that's the vault.
The vault was quite literally why I joined, was all the different networks. I was doing mostly just local rankings for people. But I started, I don't know if you know who Steve Clayton is. He's pretty big in the internet marketing world. He was my original mentor. I knew him right before he got famous because we were both in the same forum, Warrior Forum, back when it was, cool. And I was 17 years old.
Yeah.
He actually gave me money out of his own pocket to get started in paid advertising. It was pretty interesting. Like, it was mind blowing for a 17-year-old kid. But
that's awesome, man. So when did you come into the vault?
Last year, actually.
Oh, okay. So you came in last year. What made you, if you've done marketing and stuff, what made you jump in?
Originally, I wanted all the templates. I'm a part of a bunch of forums, and a bunch of people said they were great templates. And after I got inside, I had a mind shift switch. Actually, you guys and my father kind of worked together to change my mindset. I think I talked to you about it. I ended up selling my company at the time. Well, I got bought out, same difference. But he wanted to go into programmatic, and I didn't want to go that direction.
Uh-huh.
That little mind shift, I mean, that was a very large payday. And I was like, okay, well, I'll take a break from marketing. And I just joined you guys' group. And then that little shift of the services you guys teach in the vault, was what I needed to basically reignite my passion for just internet marketing. I got burned out after so many years.
Yeah. I mean, when you're doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, it's one of those things where just not everybody's lucky enough to sell their company, though. So they have to continue to do it. So, but where I asked you to jump on, you hit me up and said you landed some huge client. Can you tell me a little bit about that? I'm just curious.
I landed quite a few. I don't know which one. I was white labeling for marketing companies for a while. That was a horrible mistake, by the way. So much work and pennies on the dollar for the work. But I landed Diamond Bank. Colligan was a client for a while. But Southwest Brokers, it's basically Remax was a client for a while, but it was only a subsection. It was all South Florida. And a bunch of others. I'm guessing the Diamond Bank one was the one I was probably talking about.
Maybe it was like a month ago, I think.
Oh, a month ago. Right now, I've got 3 contracts going on and about 13 smaller clients.
Oh wow, nice.
I'm at a very happy place just because of that whole mental shift. Like, a lot less work, a lot more freedom, and the income is still amazing. We're actually pushing an offer, combining your offer with what I'm good at, which is local rankings.
Yep.
GMB, I could actually get you some numbers if you want. Like, I'll show you some screenshots if you want. But GMB is outperforming clients that are paying us like $10,000 a month to do their advertising.
Wow.
Like, we're spending 5 to 10 grand on ads alone for some of them more, but like, we're spending 5 to 10 grand on these clients and getting them hundreds of leads. And then we look inside of what converts, or I always call it that, what converts. And it tells us where it's like, wow, like, they're getting more leads from Google My Business just from the optimizations we did. So that plus, of course, Google Guaranteed or Google Local Services, whatever it's called now. Those two together, they're just such a powerhouse.
Yeah. So tell me about what was that mind shift that you've mentioned a couple of times?
Well, the mind shift really was I didn't have to sell a $5,000, $10,000 client. And it was, you get 3 or 4 of them, 5 of them, especially if you're slightly lazier like me. You get like 3, 4, 5, and then one leaves, and it's like crap. Like you really feel that hit.
Yeah.
But companies that really need your help, if you can give them a good price, it just works out for everyone. That's ostentatious.
Yeah.
And a lot of those clients are starting to upgrade now. We just launched the program 2 months ago. We got 12 clients so far, just doing the cold email and a little bit of LinkedIn, just basic stuff. And I don't do any of it. My outsourcer does everything. But just the basic stuff that people are too lazy to do. And in our sales call, we literally show people exactly what we're going to do. We're like, hey, you can do this yourself. Here's how we do it. And every single one is like, I'm not going to do that. Here you go.
Yeah.
But
that's awesome.
mindset is more helping and not just money, money, money.
Yeah. I mean, and that's so a big lesson, right? That either some people learn it or some people don't, is that everybody has to win and everybody has to eat, right? In a client relationship. So you got to make money and then they got to make money. This isn't like a chop shop, which a lot of companies, tend to do. They it's all about margin. They figure out how long is a client going to stay? They'll stay a minimum of 5 months at $6,000 a month at $60,000, but we're going to lose them, but we're going to get another one. And it's just that there's no family feeling, right? There's no, especially if you have to land 50 of them to survive because, you're just burning through them. Then, it loses that kind of that family business feeling, which is a big part of all this.
It's that hamster wheel you get on. It's like, oh, I got a big, $10,000 a month client. It's like 4 months later, they leave, and you're like, okay, that sucks.
Right. Exactly. So that's interesting. So you're landing your clients cold email and a little LinkedIn.
LinkedIn and cold email. My outsourcer does everything for me now. And that's basically it. I could run ads. I could do a bunch of things, but this was a sub niche that I never would have thought to go into. It's something I wanted to do on the side my entire life. I mean, I don't care if you know what it is. It's home inspectors. I mean, It is what it is. I had never thought to go after them, but I thought I wanted to do something with my hands. Like I sit behind a computer all day, every day. I'm not at the office. I'm at home right now, and I have to rent an office or I won't work.
I know. Me too.
But yeah, that's basically it. It's something my dad was a carpenter. I love everything about it. But it was one of those, it's like, what do you need? So I took it to market. I'm like, hey, what's going to help you guys? And I talked to a couple really good home inspectors. My first offer was way off the mark. And this offer comes in at a price point it's $499 or $490, whatever. It's not 9, but close enough. With just under $500, it's something they can handle day in and day out. Yeah, they still have to pay for the leads, but right now they're going for under $15 a pop on Google Guarantee. We're actually bringing markets to the market. Like there are places that Google Guarantee is enabled, but there's not enough people to trigger it. So we're going to, they have friends, they have people in the industry, and they're getting them to jump on so we can get it to trigger. And it's incredibly well. I actually got a text today at my phone. I actually got a text today where he's booked out for almost the entire month. He's been working with us for 2 months now. I've never been booked out more than a week. And it's incredible. Like we're able to help these people, and it's not hard. It's easy work. I mean,
yeah, I was just about to say, sometimes the nice words mean more than the money that you make.
It's what you said before. Everyone eats, and it's so much nicer whenever the client is super happy, as opposed to dealing with some really big clients.
And that's why like those little niches sometimes are better to be in. You can get more of them. You could separate them out by geography, and 10 to 15 of them, they'll end up eventually, if you're getting them leads and they're closing the leads, end up spending $2,000 to $3,000 a month with you, and then you don't have to work with anybody else, right? That's kind of the whole niche. Riches are in the niches. But where are you at now in terms of just a roundabout number? Just curious.
Revenue. I think revenue-wise, at the end of the year, we'll close about anywhere from 270 to 300.
270,000 to 300,000.
Yeah, roughly.
How
I'm
much of
trying
that
not
is
to go.
profit?
We're above 70% profit in most of them. The only ones we're not are ones I'm just trying to please.
Right.
Like, oh, I know what's a water snake. It's a international company. They're distributed in the United States, but we haven't actually kicked off. The people
Uh,
who were doing his website were late, and he was pissed. They're not related to me, but they're an affiliate. So it's one of those things that Water Snake USA wanted to work with us. We signed contracts, and we're still sitting here without the website, unfortunately. But yeah, they're in Walmart. They're in Bass Pro. They do like little trolley motors.
yeah.
They have a company that does their Amazon, but they don't have anyone to do anything else. So it was one of those. He's the type of guy. I worked on his site Merrimack beforehand, and they
Hmm.
have like hiking stuff. We worked on that site, and the like third month we were working together, he goes, "Oh, dude, this is exploding. This is amazing." He goes,
Yeah.
"You know, I'm part of an international brand too, right?" Like, no. It's like, yeah, big waters. And it's like, it turns out he's the distributor for a whole the United States, like for all the United States.
Wow.
But we haven't moved at all, just because we're waiting on the website. But that was probably the client I was talking about.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's, you said national brand is what you said um on the message. Well, that's awesome. So you've been in for, you said last year you're at about 270,000 to 300,000 a year. You're making money, your clients are making money. And is there anything else that you would do different?
If I had to start over,
Yeah.
if I would have had to start over, I wouldn't go after white labels if I had to do it all over
Right.
again.
You
It's
you
just
can use the white labels, but not be the white label.
white labels were literally why I figured out a better way. Like we just started growing in a couple different industries. My favorite by far is obviously the inspectors, but their data was what allowed me to start thinking more in the terms of, wow, GMB is really, wow. And
Yeah.
people are selling courses and everything on, I don't know. I bought two of them just to see if they're doing something better than us. And a lot of them aren't doing even half of what they should be doing. It's kind of
Yeah.
interesting, but GMB is so easy once you figure out the absolute basics behind it. Like there's literally like 10 factors you should be paying attention to. Everything else should be ignored. Like,
Yep. Yeah. I mean, as long as everything's matching, it has its citations, you know, and then you could, all the little extra stuff that you can do to help, you know, it be better. You know, I always say this, if you're new, right? Like the biggest thing is educating and doing, right? But don't do ahead of the education. Like you need to stay in parallel with it. You can't think of the problems that could occur in the future because we have solutions to them in it maybe in week 4 because you're on week 3. There's a reason why we've been around for 5 years and have tons and tons of successes. It's not because we suck, right? And you know, you try, and through the years we were able to dot our I's and cross our T's. And yeah, you're always going to have, you know, your outliers of, you know, oh, we missed that or something. But in the end, there should be solutions to every problem that people run into. What do you think somebody that's new that's coming in, like what would be your biggest piece of advice?
just do it. Implementation. Like I know the ratio is 90% of people don't do courses. They buy them and never
Yeah.
actually do them. But implement, just do it. Like you guys have such an amazing foundation, which is my favorite thing about the course. You get this rock solid foundation for people. They need to do it. Like it's not that hard of a thing.
Yeah.
You implement and you get results. I mean, just get the ball rolling and then it gets bigger and bigger and bigger in the snow.
Why do you think people don't implement? Just curious.
Scared.
Yeah.
In all reality, I think the biggest problem is how to say it correctly. I believe people are more scared of what would happen if they actually got successful. Coming from a psychology background, I think that's honestly a lot of the problem. I don't know if they're scared of rejection over an email, which I've got some hilarious rejection emails, but just plain and simple, they're afraid of something to change. They're afraid of rejection. They're
Yeah.
afraid of success. What would they do if they got it?
Yeah. I have to agree with that because I feel like I went through that for 7 years. I mean, I started online in 2000, maybe 5 years, 2009. No, shit. It might have been 2007. where it was just like I would buy course after course. And then back then, though, you were buying mostly like scam courses. It was like, hey, push this button and we'll spin the content and stuff like that. It wasn't until 2014 where it was the first time I was pitched a business model that literally made sense. Like, local businesses need more leads and customers, use the internet to help them get them. Holy cow. Like, is that not like the easiest concept to understand, right? Forget about how, because you can learn how. As long as the business model makes sense, it's not like you could do these tricks or these secrets. Like, there is no tricks, there's no secrets. Like, it is what it is. And it might be boring, but it works. And it just works, right?
Absolute 100%.
And the interesting thing about pitching like PPC, right? This is what I get all the time with new people, is when they hear paid ads, right? They think that they have to pay for the ads. Do you have their credit card on file? Do they pay for the ads, or do you pay them and then bill them for the?
For the most part, depending on how well, if we've worked with the client, we'll just bill them for it. If it's a brand new client, we started just taking it in advance. More than anything else, I actually made a joke in the group a little bit about it, but it's more for the mileage for us than anything else. It is 1,000 times easier just to put their card on file, but we collect it in advance just because, if we mess up, it's on us. It's on my card. It's okay. Well, okay to an extent, but
right.
You get the idea. You don't mess up and spend 10 grand on the client's card, which can happen. I've yet to have it happen, but yeah, I'm sure you know the feeling when you mess up, you spend like an extra $100 randomly. You're like, what in the world?
Yeah. Right. Listen, that's the good thing. Let's put it on the client's card. That's what I always say. But there is something to be said about using your own credit card so you get the points.
Absolutely insane. I know. I don't have a non-disclosure. Okay, I had to think about that. Like, inside Diamond Bank, he runs all of his through his like best points card. Obviously, it's one company. They have like 9, 10 locations, but he runs it through all through one card for the points. I don't think this man's paid for a flight or hotel in like 20 years.
Yeah, it's crazy. Usually I get one vacation a year fully paid for from my points. Usually, like flights for 4, hotel for 4 for like 8, 9 days. Like, it pays for it all. And sometimes I'll just take the cash back as well. So, well, listen, man, I don't want to hold you any longer. I appreciate you jumping on, and congratulations on like big success. That's big numbers that you're doing with probably not even that much effort, which I could tell. Like, you're just like, yeah, I got like 20, 15 clients.
Well, it's it is what it is. I started outsourcing, and the second I started outsourcing and learning how to outsource, it went from like literally a prison sentence to, wow, like, what do I do? They kind of do everything.
Okay. Maybe we'll do a Zoom when you're at your computer.
At the office. I can always talk on that one as well. Just depending on what time. I know you guys are by far the most friendly group when it comes to like people who work a full-time job.
Yeah.
Can still have fun. I don't think people realize the value of that. I joined another group trying to grow faster. I have a shirt here, $6,000 shirt, because I didn't fucking get anything from it. Because all their meetings are during the day. It's like, dude, I'm working with clients. I'm taking meetings. That's after 3 o'clock, like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. I'm good. But it's like their meetings are done by like 2. It's like, guys, I got to make a living here.
Yeah, typically you'll see that in other groups. You'll see early 12:30. You'll see things. I've never understood it, because everybody who comes into our program has a job like that. This is the whole point of this, is to build a side business while you're working a full-time job. And so it was always like, well, we got to do it after people work. Right. So, that's kind of the mindset, and we've been doing it like that for 5 years. So why change it now? We're not going to. So, I
mean, I think that's absolute perfect timing, but
I appreciate it, man. Let me let you go. I have something on in 10 minutes, and I'll shoot you a message and we'll schedule something.
I appreciate it.
All right, brother. Appreciate it.
Take it easy.
Have a good one.